Did anyone hear what Rachel Notley said about the Islamic terror attack in Nice that left 84 dead on Bastille Day after the terrorist plowed a truck into a pedestrian street? What Notley said is so bizarre and unrealistic, it's dangerously clueless about the very real threat to the West by radical Islam. Just watch this.
The best response to acts of terror is, quite frankly, to continue to live our lives in freedom.
Was her cowboy hat on too tight? The best response to acts of terror is living our lives in freedom? Really? Look, I like freedom. I love freedom. I'm a bit of an advocate for it. But this nonsense is right up there with Jack Layton's catchy but utterly useless phrase, hope is better than fear. Sure, hope is good. But I'll get that from my religion and not my government. Fear keeps you alive. And living in harsh reality is always better than a softer and kinder delusion. What Rachel Notley said sounds a lot like what the French Prime Minister, Manuel Valls, is saying. He said, "Times have changed and we should learn to live with terrorism. We have to show solidarity and collective calm." They're both basically just saying ignore the threats to Western civilization and carry on your days, people. Rachel Notley is wrong. The best response to acts of terror is overwhelming force against those who plan to commit further acts of terror against free people. The best response is not inviting further terrorists into our communities for the sake of appearing tolerant. It is the job of the government to protect my freedoms. And they can do that by acting against those who would perpetuate terror. And if the government doesn't do those things, then the terrorists are the ones living in freedom, and the rest of the population lives in fear. There will be no freedom for the law-abiding otherwise. It's pretty telling, but unsurprising. Rachel Notley doesn't understand this. It's the obvious response from a leader that thinks global warming is a greater threat to humanity than terrorism. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.